Okay. All right. So here with Lauren, can you tell me a little bit about your experience so far? What were your goals that you're trying to achieve out of this whole program?
My goals were to first find a program that would allow me to focus on weight management. I also wanted to find something that would be good for my overall health. My second goal was to find something that would be sustainable in the long run, as I incorporated that into a different lifestyle.
Okay. So what about it made it sustainable? Sustainable how? Like, what do you mean by that?
Me that the workouts were easy enough to incorporate into my work schedule, my personal life, as far as time wise. I was physically capable of doing all of the workouts. Um, and with regards to the meal plans, it was a great variety. Um, I enjoyed making a lot of the stuff. People in my house enjoyed some of the stuff that I even cooked for them. So it's
Okay,
something
good.
that in the long run we could still implement in our everyday.
So like sustainable is like you just learned how to implement everything and you think you can keep doing it and
Yes,
all
you
that
can
stuff.
include your lifestyle.
Yeah. And if you were to not like have training with me, this is something you'd be able to keep up on your own. You think you've learned enough that you could kind of tweak it and maintain what
Yes.
you've done?
Yeah.
Cool. What were your two biggest goals? And then also, what kind of reservations did you have before joining?
The type of reservations. So, because I had previously worked with an online trainer, my reservations were that with the online training, you wouldn't be able to really focus on my needs or any goals that I might have. And that it would be kind of like a cookie cutter type of a plan.
Mm,
So those were my reservation. I thought that it was just going to be something you just put out on paper, you gave to me, and then either I get results or I don't. So that's what my biggest reservation was.
right. And you trained with a personal trainer in person before, right? So
Yes.
what what would be the differences and what's like the pros and cons of training online?
Um, the difference between the online and the personal training physically was more hands-on, but I felt like that's really all it was. It wasn't any training. It was more or less, we'll do this exercise that way, but there wasn't any conversation as far as, like meal planning or um, any guidance on what to eat, what not to eat, and why.
Yeah.
Um, there was no feedback with regards to what part of the body certain exercises may target or anything like that. Weights, nothing like that. It was just this is how you properly do this exercise.
Right.
Um, so it was just more physical contact. I think that the for me the online training was a lot more tailored, but it also made me hold myself more accountable because I didn't have somebody just standing there over top of me or showing me how to do it. Like I had to pay attention, I had to focus. Sometimes I had to go back and look through certain recordings to see how I was standing or my positions, things like that. So it definitely made me hold myself accountable for making sure I was doing a proper follow through.
Right. So the amount of attention that you got online, you felt was a little bit more than what you were getting in person then?
Yes, it was a lot more. There was more touch base,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's definitely more support online.
Yeah. And I was checking in a little often, a little too much or what?
No, no, no. We did the weekly good because we talked about anything like that might have come up during the week, any concerns. We also discussed the forms that I was doing over the weekend. If like I had any injuries or anything was abnormal or anything like that, like all of that is a part of the necessary support, I think.
Yeah. Good. So none of that was overwhelming and I wasn't bugging you too much.
No, because that's what getting to hold, it's part of holding somebody accountable. So no, that's perfect.
All right, perfect. So if somebody was on the fence, actually, what was your two main goals? I don't think we got the answer for that. So
Yeah.
you wanted to lose how much, and then what was your results?
You know what? I don't even think I ever thought about, looking back, I don't think I ever thought about actually how much weight. And I think in my mind, I didn't want to focus on the weight because I didn't want I didn't want to get overwhelmed with looking at the scale because I wanted this to be something that was long term. I just focused on getting into a routine.
Yeah.
Um, and getting that implemented into my everyday. So my goal was to find a plan that would allow me to do this even without having the training there. That was my goal. Um,
Right.
yeah.
So we'll talk about your results then.
My results. So I think I'm like at around 20 pounds and counting, hopefully. I've seen huge difference in my measurements.
Yeah.
Um, I think I see more difference in just in looking in the mirror, in the way that my clothes fit. Again, I don't really concentrate too much on the scale because I've always heard that the way that you really judge is by your measurements and how you feel. But
Yeah.
I have significant changes in the way that my clothes fit and just the way that I look when when I'm looking at myself in the mirror. So
Yeah.
um, it's been the results have been great, and I know I'm not done, so I'm looking forward to it.
Good. So like the weekly measurements and photos was helpful for you to keep you motivated and going to actually see the results?
Yes, yes, I do think that especially in the beginning, because there was huge changes in the beginning, that I was able to see. So yes, I do think it is good for you to be able to see your progress, and I think it's also good for you as the trainer to see maybe if there's certain, especially if measurements or something or weight stays consistent. That's all a part of the feedback or the support that you give. Maybe you could, in a situation like that, you would be able to make certain changes to my exercise routines,
Yeah.
which you did, or make certain changes to meal plans, which you did, in order to focus on certain things.
Yeah. Okay. And then besides like the 20, you're down to 22 pounds weight loss now in the 4 months. Other than the like weight loss and everything, talk about like the other benefits you've had. I think energy's been really a big one, I think maybe. And then um, throughout the course of training, I've been really pleased with how like you haven't had like any serious aches and pains or anything down, like any setbacks. So like you've been handling everything I've thrown at you really, really well. So um, talk about the other benefits, other
Um,
things that you found.
the energy aspect was a big aspect because in the beginning I was very, very sluggish. Like I was honestly not looking forward to
Yeah.
being out at all. So in the beginning, I would say those maybe the first 30 days, maybe it was a bit rough until my body
30.
got used. It wasn't just the fact that I was feeling tired, but then after exercising, my body was so sore.
Yeah.
So the benefits from that were that I quickly, well, that probably coupled with the meal plan, my energy level did change a lot. And with me constantly doing stretching and movements and stuff like that, I was less sore over time.
Yeah.
Another benefit, which ties to the energy and probably just the overall, is that I started wanting to just, even on my off days, I just wanted to be active. So I would go for a hike with my family, or take the dog out for a longer walk. So it just became something that I was looking forward to. Like I just couldn't sit around and not move in some way, even on the days where I was supposed to be resting my muscles technically.
Yeah, that was
So that
something
was a good benefit for
you
me.
had mentioned where you like really actually enjoy working out now, where before it was like kind of like a chore. You didn't really like it that much, right?
No, yeah, I did not. I knew it was a necessity, but I just didn't, and I think I didn't like it because I just didn't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
And then I think that not only with the mind, I have the mindset for it now, but I also, my energy level is also a lot better.
Cool, cool. Um, so if you had anything to say to somebody who's like on the fence, what would you say to to encourage them to join in the program with Lift Stress Away?
First starting off, the consultations that you did actually was what got me off of the fence. The fact that the consultation was extremely personalized. You discussed the what are they called? The fitness test that you do, which I think is important because no other trainer that I've ever dealt with has ever done that. Just to be able to see, I guess, basically where you are right now with regards to your mobility, mindset, everything like that. We discussed what my personal goals were, even down to different foods that I like or may not like. So I think the fact that it's a personal training plan that is 100% customized. I don't think that you're going to find that with too many trainers that are going to put all of that effort into it. I think also being able to touch base. I haven't had a trainer to do that other than me going to the gym to meet with them. But that time in between, there was no other follow up. And I think for me, one of the biggest things was also the fact that you were willing to make certain adjustments so that I still stayed on track to meet my goals, which is something that, again, most trainers are just not going to.
We got some like lag going on. I don't know, the Wi-Fi is not great right now or something. 2 pounds total, bunch of inches, all that stuff. Been happy with everything. And really happy to keep you going and continue on with the maintenance plan. Yeah. All in all, you've had a pretty good time and you've done really well, and excited to keep you going. Don't know what else to say, and I don't know how to wrap this up. So thank you for your time, Lauren. And if anybody's on the fence about joining, I'm going to have more testimonials for you to go look for and see how everybody else is doing with the program. I put in a lot of effort with all my clients, and I'm excited to have you on board, whoever's watching.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Lauren. I'm just going to exit this.